What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man Chaz Ellis once again answering the questions that you asked me. For some of you that want to ask me some private questions, you want to go back and forth and talk a little bit, get a consultation at the askchazzellisproject.com. Also, if you want to give me a detailed email and receive one in return, go to the askchazzellisproject.com for that too and get a quick question. For some of you who have asked me about the old live streams that you missed, make sure you check that out on the askchazzellisproject.com. Also, it's on the you go to the archive section and you can get those too. And make sure you also check out the live stream that's going to be going on tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's tonight, Sunday, July 12th. And I'm going to be talking about how to live like a player without actually being one. And this is for some people who, if you've gotten played in the past, you've been mistreated by people, disrespected, and you want to learn how to live like a player, even though you don't really want to be one. You want to get that respect, get that good treatment. Make sure you check out that live stream that's going to be going on tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyway, the question that I got was from a couple of guys, actually. They asked me, I've dated girls with kids in the past, and I was totally disrespected. What did I do wrong? What should I have done to kind of put myself in a better position? I talked to another guy who said, hey, if I'm thinking about dating a girl with kids in the future, what should I do? Some of the things I should do to kind of put myself in a better position. So what I came up with here was 5 rules to dating a single mother. Okay, rule number 1. Before you really get serious about a single mom, you need to interact with her and her kids. Now, some people are going to say, well, I don't ever bring nobody around my kids until I know I'm serious. And I understand how that's cool for you, but for me or for the guy who's going to date the single mother, that's really not that good of an idea because, the honest truth is some people aren't good moms. And sometimes people got badass kids and you don't really want to be around them or their kid. And you don't want to be around their kid, them with their kid, because the way they act with their kid is totally different from what you've been seeing. Some people have really disrespectful kids. Some people really don't pay attention to their kids. And you wouldn't notice until you actually spent time with them and their children. What a lot of guys do is they get really serious about the girl before they actually ever spend any time with them and their kids. I know dudes that have gotten engaged to women who have never spent time with them and their children. And they do this, and then all of a sudden they feel bad because the kid is trying to shove a toy up their butt while they're sleeping. And just crazy stuff, and they don't know what's up. They're like, man, what's up with this kid? Well, that's because the kid is crazy. You didn't know it. Kid trying to set the house on fire and throw hot ramen on you while you're trying to sleep, because you didn't realize the kid was crazy because you never met him. So just get to know the kid and get to see how she interacts with the kid, see if she, disciplines the kid correctly and stuff like that before you really get serious about it. Number 2 thing you should do before you meet a single mother, the number 2 rule you have to follow before dating a single mother is find out how she is supporting herself and her kids. I know that might seem like, okay, clearly, does she have a job or whatever? But no, you really have to find out what she's actually doing to support herself and her children. Where is the money coming from? How is she feeding herself? How is she feeding her family? How is she living? How is she paying her car payment, her house payment, things of this nature? Because this is going to tell you a lot about what your role might end up being in the relationship in the future. Like, for instance, if you're dealing with somebody who really doesn't have a job, if you're dealing with somebody who really doesn't have the means to take care of themselves and their children, or they're living off child support or something like that, she's probably going to be looking at it like, this person is going to be a financial contributor to my household. Not just somebody that's paying bills, that they're accumulating, but they're also paying bills for my kids. They're also paying my bills. They might be looking at you as a cash cow. You don't know that unless you know how she's paying her bills currently. If she's used to living off dudes, you're probably going to be somebody she's going to live off of too. If she's used to living off the government and the system, she's probably not going to get a job. She's probably going to be expecting you to pick up the slack for all of that stuff. Some people think that once they have kids, they have no other responsibilities in life and everybody else is supposed to take care of them. So you got to make sure you're not dealing with that kind of person unless you want to be sugar daddy and you want to pay for all the stuff. Rule number 3, dating a single mother. Figure out what happened with the dad. Like, what's going on with the dad now? What happened with the dad during, the whole breakup and all that kind of situation? What was the situation? How did she get pregnant? How long did she know the guy? What did she expect from the guy? What did she expect from him now? What is her relationship like with this dude? Are they cool with each other? Does he see the kids? Does he have open access to the children? What kind of relationship do they have? And the reason why I say that you need to figure this out is because that's going to tell you a lot about how she will treat you if that situation comes up. A lot of guys always say, well, I'm never going to get anybody pregnant. A lot of people said that, now they got somebody pregnant. So you got to understand the fact that this girl could be your baby mama too. So however she's treating this other guy, you might want to think about that and say, this could possibly be me in the near or far away future. So if you're dealing with a girl that's like, yeah, we was together for like 2 weeks and I got pregnant and now he's just a deadbeat and I can't stand him and all that, you got to think this is a girl who thinks that if she gets pregnant after 2 weeks, some guy's going to want to take care of the kid. Now, I know in society, I'm supposed to be like, oh, well, it's your responsibility no matter what. We get that. But we got to think about it from this perspective. At the end of the day, you are never going to, if you're a grown man, you are never going to get pregnant by a man who's not going to take care of the baby. That's never going to happen. Ever. I don't even care if you have a gender reassignment surgery, your ass still can't get pregnant. Okay? So you're never going to be in her shoes and you're never going to be in her boat. So what happened with her and her situation really doesn't matter to you. You need to know what happened to him because he could be you. Okay? You could fill in his shoes. You can't fill in hers. That's why you want to know that. You want to know how she thinks. Because if she's sitting here thinking, none of this has anything to do with me and none of this is my fault, then she's probably going to think that same way when she's dealing with you and be like, okay, why should I take this birth control? Now you got a condom bust on you and now your ass is baby daddy number 2, 3, 4, 5, however many, whatever the situation may be. So you got to make sure that when you're dealing with this girl that you know the origin of her relationship with the ex. Also, you want to make sure that you know how she's treating the ex in terms of his children. Is she letting him see those kids? Is she trying to be playing games, making all the kids call her new boyfriend daddy all the time and crazy stuff like that? Because if you're dealing with somebody like that, you're dealing with somebody who's messy and trifling. And that person may turn out to mess over you. So it's all about self-preservation. You kind of want to look at what's going on with this guy so you can kind of see what your future might look like with this girl. Because you never know when you could end up being a baby daddy also. No matter how hard you try not to. So let's see. Rule number 4 to dating a single mother. Stay out of their business, man. If she's got a baby daddy and they go through whatever they go through, that's their business. That's their situation. You don't need to, you can know what's going on. Like I said, you want to know what's happening, but you do not want to interact with this dude in any kind of way in terms of trying to dictate to him how he sees his kids and don't be talking to my girl like that. This is how you get in a situation where you end up in jail, getting killed, some bull crap like that. Because people will have you in the middle of their business. That's her business with her baby daddy. That's her problem. That's her issue. They ain't got nothing to do with you. And them kids are his kids and her kids. And you might be a helper or whatever the case may be, but you don't want to get involved in their business because that could turn ugly. And she might end up even taking his side after it turns ugly. And you got to remember, those kids are still going to be his kids. So if y'all get into it and you hit that dude in the head with a baseball bat, now you got people in the house that hate your guts and probably want to see you fall. So make sure you don't get involved in their business because it usually will turn out ugly for you. And number 5, this is the last one. Agree on what your role is supposed to be. You got to figure out what you want to do in those kids' lives and what part of their lives you want to be, and then get her to agree with it. So if you're going to be disciplining them, if you're going to be telling them stuff and things of that nature, because that's probably, you're going to have to do some of that. But if you're going to be a father or a friend or whatever the case may be, you got to, or financial provider or whatever you're going to end up being, you got to agree on that and say, hey, this is what I'm cool with. Because you can't have her going into the situation thinking, okay, you're not allowed to discipline the kids. You can't tell them what to do. But, you need to be buying them Christmas presents and stuff like that. And you saying, whoa, no, I ain't cool with that. You got to tell her that right up front. And y'all got to agree on something so y'all have something solid that y'all have said this is the way it's going to be. And not springing stuff on each other at a moment's notice. Don't be yelling at my kids. Don't be telling my daughter what I do. Don't be telling my son what I do. And you're like, hey, I'm supposed to be their daddy, right? I'm their stepdaddy, you know? And they're like, no, you ain't. You ain't nobody's daddy. You know, you don't want to be going through stuff like that. So you want to have that already established so you can say, hey, this is what we established in the beginning, and I'm not going for anything less. So make sure you do all of those things. Kind of check that out. Some of y'all, if you've had relationships with single moms, and especially if you have successful ones, let me know what you did down here in the comment box below and kind of help everybody else out. Also, make sure you check out that live stream. That's going to be tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's going to be how to live like a player without actually being one. And also make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Peace.